Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. This is your full-time match reaction from Old Trafford on this Saturday night. A game dominated Old Trafford, finally by Manchester United, but a game dominated by two massive, massive red cards decisions that didn't just affect Chelsea, but also did affect Manchester United today. One, I think, was the correct decision, and one that obviously I think the referee had no choice but to give, but Manchester United have gotten away with it today. 3 points is 3 points. A win is a win. We have beaten one of our so-called rivals. We've beaten one of the so-called contenders for the Premier League title race this season. And Manchester United finally have a win. We finally have won at the weekend, which obviously is fantastic for the fan base, fantastic for the supporters, and finally the pressure will be off Ruben Amorim, but it will be pressure only just that is off his shoulders tonight. Obviously, the big, massive talking point is obviously the two red cards decisions. One, obviously, I think is correct, and I think one that Manchester United, like I've said, have gotten away with today. I think the Casemiro red card, where you are clearly dominating the game, you are 2-0 up in the match, and you are dominating the opposition, and you are trying to win the game. Obviously, I think Casemiro has, got the right to question the referee's decision. But I would say the referee had no choice, because in the end, it is a second yellow card. He has to be sent off. And I think in that matter of the moment, he is very, very lucky that Manchester United got that win today. And Thomas has said, we actually won. Exactly. We actually won a game of football. The behaviour is not in line with our policies and may result in gifting suspensions. What the fuck? What the hell? Right, okay, so TikTok just warned me the behaviour is not acceptable. We are talking about a match reaction. We're talking about a match reaction. And TikTok's warning me that it's not appropriate to talk about a match reaction. Like, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, we're talking about a game of football, TikTok. Don't come and fucking tell me what I can and can't do. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, TikTok. You're not the boss here. Your content providers boss you. So don't tell me about my views and my opinions. I'm allowed to talk about what the fuck I want. And we are talking about Manchester United's result against Chelsea, which obviously resulted in a 2-1 win for Manchester United at Old Trafford this season. Looks like you're banned from doing match reactions. Yeah, they're not going to stop me. TikTok ain't going to stop me. I like to see them fucking try. At the end of the day, we're here to talk about football. We're here to talk about the United result. I'm not going to let TikTok boss me about and tell me what I can and cannot fucking do. Mind the gap, Man United, says Dan. Okay? I respect that. But yeah, obviously the game was dominated by two red cards. Obviously, I think, like I've said about the Casemiro decision, unfortunately, the referee has got no choice. The referee has to send Casemiro off. He's been warned with one yellow card already, and I clearly couldn't understand what Casemiro was thinking in that moment, which really, really surprised me. We're 2-0 up. We're dominating the game. It doesn't look like we're going to concede a goal, and he was reckless. Yeah, Casemiro was reckless. I do have to agree. Casemiro was really, really reckless. I have to agree with that. I have to agree. I think it is the correct decision. It was the correct decision. The referee has to send Casemiro off, because if he doesn't send Casemiro off, then he really can't send off the Chelsea goalkeeper, because obviously I think Chelsea in that moment, the way the Chelsea player surrounded the referee was absolutely pathetic. Like, I've never known Chelsea players surround a referee the way they surround a ref. Like, they're absolutely surrounding him like no tomorrow. Like, it's really, really embarrassing. From a set of professional footballers, the way they surrounded the referee is an absolute joke. Yes, it's a second yellow card. Yes, it's a sending off, but let the fucking referee do his job. Let the referee do his job the way he wants to referee the game. And at the end of the day, we can't really complain about Casemiro sending off. He's already been warned once, and he's been given a yellow card. But to give away a pointless free kick, which wasn't going to result... The behaviour is not in line with our policy. Gifting is suspended in this live attempt. Reason What the fuck? Gifting's been suspended. What the hell? Rupen survives. I can't believe what's going on tonight. I'm not allowed. Apparently the gifting's been suspended. What the hell? We're here to talk about football, TikTok. We're here to talk about football. What are you moaning at? What are you complaining about? We're here to talk about football. I'm not here to talk about gifts. I'm not here to talk about gifting. I'm here to talk about United's result against Chelsea. And I've had TikTok twice tell me this match reaction's not appropriate. This match reaction's not allowed to go. Like, what the hell are you moaning at, TikTok? We won, but we were still awful. Exactly. We were awful. Especially in the second half. That second half was absolutely awful. It was awful. Like, at the end of the day, we went down to 10 men because we deserved to. Casemiro should have known better in that moment to get himself sent off. When you're dominating the game, dominating possession, you're dominating the attacking opportunities, and you're 2-0 up. You're on the verge of keeping a clean sheet. I just can't believe those Manchester United players allowed Casemiro to do that. Like, obviously, he's got the right to go for the ball. But when he clearly misses the ball and then he gets himself sent off for a second yellow card, you think to yourself, this is going to end up being thrown away. And we're very, very lucky we didn't throw that game away. Because as soon as Chelsea got that late goal with 10 minutes to go, they absolutely battered us. They absolutely battered us. Chelsea dominated that second half in the last 10 minutes. They were all over us. They absolutely swamped our penalty area. It was an absolute joke, to be honest with you. The second half was really, really poor. And the game fell flat because it was 10 men against 10 men. And we were the better side. We were only the better side because Chelsea went down to 10 men early on. We were only the better side because Chelsea fell down to 10 players very, very early. That's the only reason we were the better team. It's because they were a man short. They didn't have all 11 players on the pitch. If it was 11 players against 11 players, I'd probably say Chelsea would have won that game quite comfortably. I wouldn't say we would have got anything from that game. I think we would have been lucky to get a point. I don't think we would have got all three. If it was 11 players versus 11, I completely agree that Chelsea probably would have won that game. 3 points on 3 points. We take it, we move on. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Can you never be happy for a result? We are lucky Mbeumo is so good. Exactly. Mbeumo again has had a very, very never good game. I'm just pointing out the facts that we have massively, massively gotten away with one. Because I'm disappointed by Casemiro. Even though he's got the goal and he deserved his goal, Luke Shaw actually got an assist for once and actually contributed towards the game for once. You're the reason our fan base is so bad. No, I'm not the reason the fan base is so bad. I completely disagree with your opinion. I disagree with your view, but I will respect it, but I don't agree with it. I'm just talking facts. I'm just talking about the game. We deserve to win based on the first half performance. Chelsea going down to 10 players really benefited us. We could play the football. There was no anxiety. There was no pressure. We were the better team based on the first half performance. Chelsea losing their goalkeeper, obviously, is going to be a big, big blow. Chelsea losing their goalkeeper cost them because Sanchez's tackle on Mbeumo is disgusting. Like, the referee in that moment has got no choice. The referee's got no choice. He has to send the Chelsea goalkeeper off. One, because it's a reckless tackle. And two, he has denied a goal scoring opportunity. So the referee is in two minds here. He either gets absolutely slammed to the floor because he hasn't sent the Chelsea goalkeeper off, or two, he does send him off and makes the correct decision. And obviously in that moment, you've denied a goal scoring opportunity. You've put a really, really bad tackle on Mbeumo, which Mbeumo is lucky to come away with not a serious injury. You have to send the goalkeeper off. And that was the only reason we played good football. That's the only reason we played our good football. Because based on that second half, we were really, really poor. We were poor. And that is again because of Casemiro. That again was because of Casemiro. If you're 2-0 up, you don't want to be putting in stupid tackles. And you don't want to be giving away stupid free kicks. And in that moment, I think Casemiro loses his head. Maybe he forgets he's got that first yellow card. Or he's just trying to protect our goal and try and help out the other players around him. But in that moment, if he's carrying a yellow card, I don't understand why Ruben Amorim didn't take him off earlier. Because if you look at the amount of subs Chelsea made in that first half, I think Chelsea going down to 10 men, I have to say, I think Enzo Maresca absolutely lost the plot. I think Maresca absolutely lost the plot. He took Cole Palmer off, he took Pedro Neto off, and he took off that new other Chelsea player. I can't exactly remember what his name was. I think Maresca absolutely lost his head. I don't know what the Chelsea manager was doing. You've taken off 2 out of 3 really, really good players. And you probably could have got some from that game if you would have kept Neto and Palmer on. So I was quite surprised by Maresca's game plan in that moment. I understand you've gone down to 10 players and I get your goalkeeper's gone. I completely understand that. But in that moment, as a manager, I would have expected Maresca to know a little bit better than to basically sacrifice most of his attacking options. Because when you take Neto off, you're quite surprised. And they were even saying that in the Sky Sports studio. Taking off Pedro Neto was an absolute disaster. Because in that moment, soon as Manchester United go down to 10 men, I would have expected Chelsea to have at least a decent attacking opportunity through one of their creative wingers to attack that Manchester United back four. Soon as Neto got sacrificed, that for me was the game plan of Chelsea. We need to park the bus and we need to play a back five. And that is what Chelsea ended up resorting to in the end. They ended up playing a back five because they've lost their goalkeeper and they're going to have to make sacrifices throughout that game to carry on. They are going to have to make sacrifices. So Chelsea potentially have got no choice but to make those subs. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be really, really honest about it, to take Neto off is quite a confusing decision for Maresca. But if you also take off Cole Palmer, and a lot of people are saying, even in the studio, apparently Cole Palmer has gone off with a slight knock. He's gone off injured again. And apparently that's why he didn't feature for England in the international break. I don't think Cole Palmer came off injured. I don't think Palmer came off injured. If you look at his body language, and you look at his facial expressions, and you look at the way he's moving, there was clearly no injury there. So I don't believe him coming off was an injury precaution. I do believe Maresca basically had to sacrifice what he could do. And he had to change the Chelsea team up. You've got to park the bus. You're 2-0 down. You've lost your goalkeeper. What are you going to do? You can't really attack that Manchester United back four. You're not really going to get at their goal in that first half. So the only physical plan Chelsea have got is to park the bus and take off not just one, not just two. They took off potentially their 3 best players, and all they really had left on was João Pedro. That was all Chelsea had left for the whole of that first half. And you look at the options Chelsea had got on that bench. They couldn't even chuck Garnacho on, which is absolutely fucking hilarious. It really, really is hilarious. They couldn't even afford to chuck Garnacho on. And as an ex-United player, it's quite embarrassing for your new team not to bring you on. And I am sat there laughing my socks off at him. I don't feel sorry for Garnacho. I don't feel sorry for him personally. You've been shown the door by Manchester United, and you've gone to Chelsea expecting to be integrated straight into the first team. And the last 2-3 games, you've been sat on the bench doing fuck all. You didn't even get to be brought on against United today. That shows the character and the personality of a player like Garnacho. It is really, really embarrassing that your new team couldn't even bring you on. And you're sat there, third seat in, with your coat over your head, over your jacket to keep you nice and warm, keep you nice and cosy, warm the bench where you belong. He ain't going to get a minute for Chelsea. It is really, really embarrassing that you've left us to go to Chelsea and we've beat you. I bet that must be really, really sickening, Garnacho. Because at the end of the day, you threw your toys out the pram and you basically thought, I'm going to make that Chelsea team straight away when I go there. I'm going to show Manchester United what they're missing. Unfortunately today, Garnacho, you've been warming the bench for 97 minutes and didn't even get a look in. And I bet Garnacho was sat there rubbing his hands together when Maresca started talking to him. I bet he sat there thinking, right, here's the opportunity. Let's show these shits what I'm all about. I'll show them what I'm missing. He didn't even get brought on. He didn't even get brought on. It's really, really embarrassing from a perspective. A player like Garnacho, who has got quality, who has got skill, but his personality and his attitude absolutely stinks. And Chelsea have taken that on, by the way. Chelsea have taken that on. They have taken all that baggage with them. And I don't feel sorry for them. I really, really don't feel sorry for Chelsea. In that moment, I really, really do not care. I really, really do not care about Chelsea. And I really don't care about your result. Because you've lost, you've been battered, and you've been taken apart at Old Trafford. That from Chelsea is really embarrassing. As soon as you lose your goalkeeper, as a Chelsea fan, you're probably going to be sat there thinking, why the hell have we just travelled up here? We are losing the game. We've lost our goalkeeper. We're down to 10 players. And now somehow we have got to try and get a result from this. And unfortunately, Chelsea have got no choice. Chelsea have got no choice because they can't attack Manchester United, can they? They can't attack us. They can't create any goal scoring opportunities because you're down to 10 players. But to sacrifice the players they sacrificed, I'm sorry, I think it's really weak. Maresca really should have stuck to his game plan and he should have went with what he had available to him. And I think in that moment, if I'm a Chelsea fan or a Chelsea supporter, I would be massively, massively embarrassed that your manager has basically given up as soon as you took your goalkeeper. As soon as your goalkeeper went bye-byes and back to the changing room for a quick refresh, for a new shower break, because he's been sent away, because he's been stupidly sent off. In that moment, if you're a Chelsea fan, I would have walked out at half-time. I would have been gone at half-time because that, for me, is really, really embarrassing. I'm buzzing for the result. I'm buzzing for the 3 points. But Man United have gotten away with it. If Casemiro doesn't get sent off, we would have won that game by at least 3, 4 or 5 goals. And we would have kept a clean sheet. I'm just disappointed we made that error in the first half. As soon as I knew Casemiro made that second challenge, you know it's going to go wrong. You know it's going to go pear-shaped. And you basically know, at the end of the day, we are going to have to park the bus like Chelsea have been doing for most of that first half. Because we've played 54 minutes, by the way, in that first half. We've played 54 minutes of football. So, at the end of the day, we've actually played in total 101 minutes of football today. Because 54 in the first half, and then we've played another... We've actually played, in hindsight, we've actually played 54 in the first half, 52 in the second half. We've actually played 110 minutes of football today. So I think Manchester United probably were quite reluctant to carry on for that long. But we did get battered in that second half. We massively, massively got battered in that second half. It is embarrassing because you would think to yourself, oh, let's try and win this game. Let's try and, take this game to them and let's, try and at least find the third goal. I think soon as Casemiro went, the third goal couldn't be found because we ended up having to make a sacrifice in the end. And obviously when you lose a man in the midfield, we couldn't expect Bruno to do that. So obviously we ended up having to sacrifice one of our 3 of our main attackers, which was either Mbeumo, Sesko and Ahmad. Now, I'm quite surprised Sesko's been taken off, by the way. I think there was a massive opportunity if we still had 11 players on the pitch. I think there was a massive, massive opportunity to keep Sesko on. I'm quite surprised we didn't give Sesko the full second half. I'm quite surprised he got taken off quite early. And maybe we had no choice but to do that. Maybe we had to do that to bring an extra midfielder on to support Bruno during that second half because we couldn't let Bruno do everything. But I think in the end, we deserved the 3 points based on the first half performance. I think second half, we've massively gotten away with it because Chelsea did batter us in that last 10 minutes of the game. So I would say we have gotten away with it today. We deserved the 3 points. We deserved the win. And I think based on what I saw in the first half, we played some very, very good football. But that is because we had the extra player. We had the extra player. We had the extra support. And the mentality was a lot different today. I felt that very, very early in the early stages of the game that the mentality felt a little bit different today than what it's done throughout other games that we've seen this season from Manchester United. I think obviously a lot of people will pinpoint it's because you went down to 10 players. It's because Chelsea went down to 10 players. A lot better than the City game. Exactly. We were a lot better than the City game. There was a lot more positive than negatives from today. There was a different mentality, a lot more positivity, a lot more attacking football. Again, obviously, we are still sticking by the 3-4-3 system. Obviously, Amorim has said that the system's not the problem. The problem is there's a big mentality problem inside the dressing room. And obviously, he is stuck by the 3-4-3 again, which again, I would still say doesn't work to our advantage. I do feel like we do need to change the formation, and I want to see that change. But if Amorim is going to be stubborn, we are going to have to let him get on with it, because we're not going to change the manager's mind. He thinks he knows better than us, and apparently he's the only one suffering, not the fans. Unfortunately, Ruben, we've been suffering for the last 13 years. We've been nearly suffering for 13 years of no trophies, no Premier League titles, no Champions League trophies, no European trophies. Again, I don't understand why this gift suspending thing keeps getting brought up. Like, I don't understand what this gifting thing that keeps coming up on my TikTok. It keeps saying the gifting thing's been suspended. Like, I actually do not get this. TikTok, stop banging your drum. I can't do anything about this. I don't know why you're even violating me, TikTok. So, at the end of the day, stop going in on me, blaming me about bloody a gift goal. Like, I really don't understand what TikTok are fucking moaning about. I wish TikTok just leave everybody alone. Stop going in on people and let people have a view and let people have an opinion, TikTok. You're not here to boss us about. We're the content providers. We make your app popular. Stop going in on us for having a view and an opinion. It's a little bit wrong as a social media company to be going in on people having a view and an opinion. So I think TikTok really need to watch their mouth. Man United are still bad. We haven't won a trophy in 2 years, says Josh. Exactly. And obviously that is down to piss poor management. That is down to the board. That is down to Ineos. That is down to the Glazers. But there's a lot of positives from today. There's a lot of positives. Like, even Luke Shaw got an assist. Like, we even have to take that as a positive. Even Luke Shaw contributed today. And obviously, a lot of people know that I am not Luke Shaw's biggest fan. I've not been a fan of him ever since he's been here. And he hasn't been the same player since he broke his leg in 2 places. He hasn't been the same player. But at least he contributed with an assist for Casemiro's goal to make it 2-0. That was the positive that Luke Shaw offered that team today. That was the positive that he did offer the club. So that is a massive, massive positive. But George says Shaw still needs to go. Exactly. I do completely agree. Shaw still does need to go. But I would say at least he offered towards the result. But long term, I don't want Luke Shaw here. So I would massively, massively agree with you. And Caden has said Manchester United is still bad. Again, I will say we only won the game based on the first half performance. If Chelsea don't go down to 10 players and it's 11 against 11, we win that game quite comfortably. We win quite comfortably. There would have been no questions asked about the way the result was going to go. There would have been no questions asked. We would have won the game quite comfortably. You just got lucky with that win. Exactly, Caden. I do agree with you. We got lucky with that win because Casemiro sending off obviously would have cost us. We really needed 11 against 10 on that pitch still, because there would have been an opportunity in that second half, not just to score another 3 or 4 goals. We would have kept the clean sheet as well. Obviously, I'm disappointed with Casemiro sending off because we've now not got him available for the Brentford game next Saturday. I think it's a 12:30 kickoff. Obviously, I'm disappointed we haven't got Casemiro available, which is a little bit frustrating, a little bit annoying. But how's it looking all the way down? How's it looking all the way down bottom? Well, we've got Brentford away next Saturday afternoon. It's a 12:30 kickoff, so we've got Brentford away. So hopefully we should be able to get a result next weekend. United nearly threw away a game that never looked in doubt. Exactly, George. Completely agree with you. And Let says we won. Exactly. Brentford's going to do you in. I'm not afraid about Brentford. I'm not afraid about Brentford. I think Brentford are going to have a very, very difficult season, but that is a focus on next Saturday. What about Kobe? Yeah, it might give Kobe Mainoo an opportunity next Saturday now. Now that Casemiro is suspended, it might give Kobe Mainoo a lot more of an opportunity to get into that team next Saturday. Because Casemiro being suspended, obviously, it might not always be a bad thing that players miss out. It gives players a rest. It gives players a little bit of, thinking space to see what they've done, which obviously Casemiro sending off didn't benefit us. It made us a lot worse because we had the man advantage. So I think at the end of the day, again, I think it's me underscore Sam is right. It does give Kobbie Mainoo a massive, massive opportunity to get into that team now. And I hope he does. I really, really hope he does. But my biggest fear, I would say, knowing Casemiro's not available, he could go with Mainoo, which I think would be the correct thing to do. But he might end up chucking in Agate, or he might be chucking in Mount or Kuna straight back in. Obviously, the bonus from today is that we've got Glory, Glory Man United. If you're new to my TikTok, please give me a follow. Smash that like button. Would really, really appreciate it a lot if you're new. Please give me a follow. Smash the like button. The positives also that we have got Mount back. We have got Kuna back as well, which are two massive positives. Mount has come back from injury quite quickly, which is a big, big surprise because knowing Mason Mount's injury record, he does pick up a lot of injuries quite quickly. So I'm quite positive that we've got Mount back and we've got Kuna back as well. And fair play to Matthias Kuna. He has been working with a personal individual trainer to get him fit quite quickly. And obviously that is a positive, but I hope we haven't chucked Kuna straight back in straight away when he's clearly not match fit. I think probably it was the correct decision in the end to have both Mount and Kuna on the bench to start this game. I think if we would have chucked them in, it might have been a massive, massive risk for us. But I think it was the right thing to do. United handled that on a plate. Exactly. We were good. We were good today. It was a lot better than last weekend. I think we can all agree. It was a lot better than last weekend. We've actually got a win. We've actually got 3 points. We actually got a result that we desperately needed because at the start of this game, we were sat in 17th, 1 point above the bottom 3. We are now into the top 10. We're in the top 10 now. So that can only be a positive. The only thing is up. The only way is up now. And that is exactly what we've got to do now. Why does every Man United Chelsea match feel like a fever dream? I think it's because it's a rivalry between two big clubs. I would say because of how big the match and the occasion is for both teams and both sets of supporters. And I would say that both early on, this result matters in terms of where the season's going to go for both these teams. So I'd probably say like that. But obviously, again, the game's been dominated by 2 red cards. The game's been dominated by 2 red cards. 1, like I said, it's the correct decision. 2, we've got lucky that we didn't just get a point. Because obviously, when we got the first goal, it took bloody VAR ages to give that Fernandes goal. I mean, VAR was brought in to make the game better. VAR was meant to be helping the referees. But I don't mean to moan about it, but don't VAR take ages to give a decision? Clearly, the VAR room doesn't have a clue, and nor do the referee either. Like, this was brought in to improve the game that we all love. I think VAR takes way too long. If you've got a decision to be made, that decision needs to be made quite quickly. And obviously, the Fernandes goal's quite tight. The Fernandes goal is very, very tight. Like, for me, he is onside. If you look back at the replay, if you look back at the goal and you look at the VAR decision that's been given, Trevor Chalobah is playing Fernandes onside. Chalobah is playing Fernandes onside. But it's only just by a little tight margin. So that decision could have gone either way. If that goal wasn't have been given, I think I would have been annoyed. Because if you look back at it, for me, Trevor Chalobah's foot, look where Chalobah's foot is, look where Fernandes is. I feel like Chalobah has kept Fernandes onside. So I feel like that was the correct decision based on what VAR have shown me and what everybody has seen on the screen. If the goal's onside, if the goal would have been ruled out, I think the referee would have been absolutely crucified for that. So with the VAR, because if a goal's unfairly been chalked off, Mazraoui was class today, honestly, exactly. We'll be giving our player of the match at the end of this match reaction, but I think Mazraoui, again, is a top guy, top bloke, and he's been one of our best signings in years that this club's actually made the correct decision on. So I completely agree with you. Mazraoui was class today. If you're new to my TikTok, give me a follow, smash that like button, would really appreciate it. But yeah, like I would say the Fernandes goal's tight. If that goal doesn't get given, this game could have easily been 1-0 to United in the first half, or we could have been going into that second half still at 0-0. It was very, very tight. But I think the correct decision has been made, and I think the goal fairly should have stood. That's my view on it. That's my opinion on it. Not everybody has to agree. It's about view. It's about opinion, and I respect everybody what they say. It's about view. It is about opinion, and that is what I like about my community, because we're all here to talk about football and we're all here to talk about the result. So obviously, like I said, Fernandes to score his 100th goal, by the way. Fernandes has now bagged 100 goals for Manchester United. Like, that's a big, big milestone in his career. Obviously, I've been massively critical of Fernandes, but I think today, top professional, top performance. Not a contender, I would say, for player of the match, but I would say he massively contributed towards the outcome of this game today due to the win that we've got and for it to finish 2-1, because his goal pointed us in the right direction to get us that win today, which was needed. Big results for the lad, says Kieran. Exactly. Big result for the lads today. Massive result. Yes, we beat in the best team in the world. Exactly. The system is so bad, we got lucky. Yeah, I would still say the system doesn't work. I would still say the 3-4-3 doesn't work. I would still say we need to drastically change it. I want to go back to a 4-3-3. I want to play 2 centre-backs, a left-back, a right-back. I want 2 attacking midfielders and a CDM. I want a left winger, a right winger, and a striker. That is what I want to do with the formation at Manchester United. But Amorim is stubborn. If Amorim is willing to bide by the sword, we are going to have to stick with it, and we're going to have to face fact and like it or lump it until he gets sacked. Because I still believe he will go, because I don't think the system works. And yes, we did beat the best team in the world. Completely agree, because Chelsea are current world champions, by the way. Just saying, Chelsea are current World Club champions. Just saying. The system is so bad, we got, like, when it was 10 versus 10, we got outplayed. Oh yeah, completely agree. When it was 10 versus 10, we got completely outplayed. It's because I don't think we knew what to do. I don't think we knew what to do. When we panic, soon as we lose a player, we absolutely shout ourselves. We absolutely panicked because we didn't know what to do. We were dominating the game, dominating the ball, dominating possession, and all of a sudden you lose Casemiro, who again has got you your second goal to go 2-0 up, by the way, because it was literally like a pinball bloody wizard in the penalty area for the second goal. The amount of headers and the amount of people jumping over one another was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely mental. I think this is going to either just end up in the goalkeeper's arms, and this is just going to end up as a goal kick, because that was how bad that pinball moment was. But again, to go 2-0 up, you're very, very comfortable. Chelsea are down to 10 players. They're there for the taking. Don't do anything rash. Don't do anything stupid. But I do agree. Soon as we went down to 10 players, I didn't see that team from the first half I saw from the first half. I didn't see the team. I didn't see the players. I saw us panic. I saw us shit ourselves because thinking, what do we do now? We panic. I think Manchester United players massively panic. Soon a decision has made a massive negative impact on the team. And that is Casemiro's fault. Casemiro, I think, will take responsibility and he will face actions for it because he's nearly cost us the game. If this ends in a draw and it ends 2-2, this would be a completely different match reaction because we would have thrown away 3 points. We are lucky we're holding on to 3 because the Chelsea goal, I mean, again, if we want to even consider winning a Premier League, we need to improve ASAP. Oh, exactly. We have got to improve ASAP. Even when we've got 10 players on the pitch, 11 players on the pitch, 9 players on the pitch, we're used to the same facilities as academy. It's poor. Oh, yeah, they've done this 50 million revamp on Carrington, but I've not seen any of the state of the pitches. The training pitches are still the same. All they've done up is the canteen and the facilities inside. They've not done anything on the outside, which is really, really poor, by the way. For a club that have chucked 50 million on it as well, the facilities we're training on are really, really shit. The inside's all right because you've got Carrington. But apart from that, the rest of it, the outdoors, it's still the same pitch. It's still the same training pitches. So it's a big point that you do make. And I do agree with you. We're still using the same facilities. So again, that doesn't give us a positive impact. That gives us a massive negative impact. Yes, bro. How's you? Yes, Shawnee. I'm good, mate. How are you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in, mate. Yeah, I'm absolutely grand. Mash out to Shawnee, by the way, who's one of our managing moderators on my TikTok. Massive mash out to Shawnee in the live chat. But yeah, I'm good. Like, yeah, I'm really, really good. Just buzzing with the result, buzzing with the 3 points. A win is a win. And at least we can actually enjoy our weekend. At last, we can actually enjoy a weekend because Manchester United normally ruin the weekend for basically everybody. So I'm just glad we've come away with 3 points. I'm so glad we've got away with this today. And we have gotten away with it. People will say United did not deserve that win. United didn't deserve the result. But I think if people were to go back and watch the game, watch the highlights, of course, I think we do. We deserve this win. We deserve the results. We deserve the 3 points. And I don't think anyone can take it away from us. If Chelsea don't go down to 11 players, then yeah, they probably would take a draw. We wouldn't win this game. Or Chelsea might have even sneaked to win. And we wouldn't have heard the end of it. And Amorim probably would have been gone by tonight. But again, a win is a win. We need to take the positive. We need to play like we did every week. Exactly. If we can play that high intensity football that we did today, then we should be battering the opposition. We did deserve. What exactly did Chelsea do? One header that beat Binder, and that was it. Exactly. Again, the Chelsea goal, by the way, like the Chelsea goal's really poor. Like the Chelsea goal is really, really poor. Like I couldn't believe in that moment we let the goal happen the way we did. We know Reece James is always a danger from set pieces. We always know he is so dangerous of putting a really good cross into the box. I just couldn't believe in that moment the way we defended the goal. Because it's like we're 2-0 up here. Don't let Reece James get a ball into our box. Don't let Reece James unleash one. Don't let Reece James put something in danger of our penalty area. That's what I'm really, really puzzled by. And literally, Reece James on the outside of our penalty area has been left unmarked, by the way. Yoro was poor for marking for it. Exactly. Yoro was very, very poor in that moment. That is probably the worst bit of defending I've actually seen from Yoro since he's actually been at the club. I mean, Yoro's been here, 2 seasons? Yoro's been at the club 2 seasons now? So I would say in that moment, Yoro's defending is massively, massively questionable. Like, I was really, really surprised because Yoro's one of our best centre-backs. Yoro's one of our best players. I was just quite surprised that in that moment, his defending for that goal is really, really poor. Like, one decent cross into the box and it's a goal. And you're like, so we don't defend well from crosses, do we? And we don't man mark in our penalty area. And that's what really, really angers me because that clean sheet was on. That clean sheet was on today. But one decent cross from Reece James has beaten our goalkeeper and has beaten all 4 of our back 4. That's what I'm surprised at. I just think if he kept Maguire on, Chalobah doesn't win that header. And do you know what? That is exactly what the commentator said. That is exactly what the commentator said. If we would have kept Maguire on, that Chalobah headed goal does not go in. It doesn't become 2-1. Completely agree. Completely agree. If Maguire was kept on in that moment, we don't concede. But again, I'm angry that no one sees Reece James on the outside of our penalty area. And I'm quite angry that, no one's gone out there to block the cross. No one's gone out there to try and prevent that cross from coming in the box. That's what I'm a little bit surprised at. That yet again, we've got players that don't just do their job inside the box. We've got players that can't even be asked to do their job outside the box. That's what surprises me because it's like we do need to be doing both jobs here. If you let Reece James unleash a cross like that and you get a header like that, it's going to end up in the net. And that is exactly what happened for the Chelsea goal. It was massively preventable. You deserve the win, but 9 times out of 10, Chelsea are not that poor. Exactly. I think soon as Chelsea lost the goalkeeper, that was game over for them. That was game over. Soon as Chelsea lost the goalkeeper, that was game, set and match. Chelsea were screwed. They didn't know what to do. Chelsea didn't have no answer. Because in that moment, look at the rash substitutions. Maresca's absolutely lost the plot. Maresca's absolutely lost his shit. And it's like, bloody hell. He's absolutely lost his... He's gone absolutely bananas with the substitutions. You've taken... A head went and he didn't know how to change it. Exactly. Dave's right. Dave's absolutely right. Their head went and he didn't know how to change it. Exactly. Completely agree. He absolutely lost his head. Maresca didn't know what to do. But to take Cole Palmer off and Neto, like, really? And if you're a Chelsea fan seeing that and your manager's making beyond decisions like that, you've got to question why. Why did he take Neto off? Why did he take Palmer off? Everybody is saying, I will say for James, he was their bright light. Exactly. Reece James was probably Chelsea's best player by a bloody mile. Reece James outshines that Chelsea team. When they've got no Palmer, no Neto, when they've got no Gittins, no Garnacho, what else does Chelsea actually have? Let's be honest. Let's have this debate right here, right now. What did Chelsea actually have in that team? Let's be honest. What do Chelsea have in that team except for Reece James when half their other players aren't in that team? Chelsea don't have a lot. They really, really don't. It's really surprising that Chelsea even have a team because they bring in so many players and then get rid of them. They bring in so many players and then get rid of them. And after players they bring in, they don't play. And they're on the bench. And it's like, I feel for their fans tonight. And I'm not a Chelsea fan, by the way. Fuck supporting them lot. But at the end of the day, you've got to question as a fan, what the fuck is Maresca doing? Like, I know you're down to 10 players. Your goalkeeper's absolutely screwed you over. But like, bloody hell. You would have thought, you really, really would have thought for Maresca as Chelsea, come out of a better game plan. Don't just panic because your goalkeeper's done you over. Like, I know he was stupid and he was insignificant and he was an absolute failure for making that decision. But you've got to question, what are you doing as a manager to change that team up? Because you've basically sacrificed 3 of your best players. And you've basically left João Pedro on and that's it. João Pedro was their bright light. Where's your other attackers? That Chelsea team were there for the taking, of course. They were there for the taking the whole of the first half. That game could have been over. Like, the amount of attacking opportunities we had on their goal, it could have been, the heavens could have opened. Well, it actually was heavens opening because it was fucking chucking it down with rain. They were there for the taking, Chelsea. They were there for the taking. We didn't take our opportunity. We did for the first 2 goals, though. The first 2 goals are, one is tight. One, obviously, is a clean goal. And obviously, at the end of the day, Chelsea's defending for both goals is really, really poor because no one sees Fernandez's run from the flick on from whatever United player got the flick on for the Fernandez goal to make it 1-0. And obviously, for the second goal, they've been outdone by Luke Shaw. They've been outdone by Luke Shaw, by the way. And Luke Shaw has been massively injury prone for God knows how many years. And he's actually contributed towards the result. And you think to yourself, bloody hell. He's actually done something. He's actually produced. Luke Shaw's actually done something to give us a positive impact on the goals. Like, in that moment, in that pinball moment, you think this is going to end up in the arms of the goalkeeper. I'm thankful that Luke Shaw's actually got something onto it to get Casemiro's goal. Because if we go into this game 1-0 at half-time, and then we're still down to 10 players, like Chelsea themselves, I think this ends as a draw. I think this ends mathematically 1-1. We don't win this game. And I think 5 points from 15, you've then got to question, is it time to make a decision now or later? I think Amorim obviously will take the positives. He'll say that the system played well. He'll say that the 3-4-3 wasn't the problem after all and all this, that and the other. But I would still say there's some questionable tactics. There's a questionable approach from us. I don't like playing this 3-4-3. I don't know why we can't play a back 3 of Yoro, De Ligt, Maguire. I don't know why we can't just have Dorgu at left wing back, Mazraoui at right wing back. Because I don't understand why we're chucking in Luke Shaw at left back. No, Luke Shaw at centre back when he's a left back. Because that for me makes no sense, in my view and in my opinion. That doesn't really make any sense from my view. And you've got a left-footed Dorgu already at left wing backs. You don't really need 2 left backs inside the back 5 really. You need Maguire, Yoro, De Ligt, Dorgu and Mazraoui. That's a perfect back 5. Then you've got the 2 midfielders, which was Fernandes and Casemiro. And then you had Amad, Mbeumo and Sesko as your front 3. Again, the only problem with having those 3 in the front 3 Ahmad is a number 10. I don't feel that works. I think Ahmad is more better out on the right than he is in the number 10 position. Again, for Fernandez, he's not a midfielder. He's a number 10. He needs to be playing further forward, and even himself has come out and said, I'm getting frustrated with playing deeper in the midfield role than what I want to be. I want to be a lot more further forward with the ball to support the other number 10 as well as the main striker to bag us our goals. And he feel like he can't do that because at the end of the day, he's being played in a deeper role. And I get his frustration. I get that. And I think we all have got to start understanding that the reason Fernandez is playing so badly, even though he's got us a goal today and he's contributed towards the result and the goals and the result and the win and the 3 points, I have to feel for him a little bit now because he is being deployed in a deeper role in the midfield and it doesn't work for my liking. I want him more further forward. But the problem is, look how many number 10s we've got. Fernandez, Mount, Ahmad, Mbeumo, Kuna. That's 5 already. That's 5 number 10 positions to play 2 places in that team. 5 number 10s to play for 2 positions in the number 10 role behind the striker. And you can't play all 5. So again, it really, in my opinion, in my view, doesn't work playing Fernandez deeper. We need to be playing Fernandez a lot more further forward, in my opinion and in my view. That's what I want to do. But I don't understand why we can't do that. Because Fernandez obviously is feeling the effects of not playing in the more higher role. And it's frustrating him and his own performance because he feels like he can contribute more. So I've got to sympathise him with on it. Because he shouldn't be playing in that midfield, which I do understand how he feels. Now I'm starting to understand why Fernandez is playing really badly. Because he feels more of an attacking threat instead of playing in a deeper midfield role. So that, for me, we could change this quite dramatically on Saturday for Brentford. We could play Mainu and Agate as the 2 midfielders, push Fernandez a lot more further forward with Mbeumo in the number 10 position. The thing is, again, he'll want to get Kuna involved. He'll want Mbeumo in that team and he'll want Fernandez for Brentford. So the problem is, who are you going to start in the 2 number 10s? Because again, he'll want Mbeumo and Kuna there and he'll probably want Sesko up top. And again, Sesko's gone 5 games without a goal, by the way. Sesko's gone 5 games without a goal. It's a little bit worrying. Don't get me wrong. It's a little bit worrying. But I would say in the end that Manchester United probably do deserve the result, but I think Sesko is going to have to hurry up and start banging in some goals because the longer this goes on and the longer he don't find the net, the worse his form's going to get, and he won't then end up getting called up by Slovenia for his international call-ups. Sesko has got to start finding the net. He didn't find it today. If he don't find it next week, who are you going to slag off tonight when you're still moaning? I'm not slagging anyone off. I'm not slagging off tonight. And I'm not moaning. I'm just saying that 5 games without a goal is a little bit worrying because the main goal threat came through the 2 of them are midfielders. Did Mbeumo contribute? Did Sesko contribute? Did Kuna contribute? Did Ahmad contribute? I still feel like we've got goal scoring problems. Sesko is new to English football. Give the manager... Yeah, I am giving him a chance. I am giving him a chance. I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying again, 5 games without a goal from a striker meant to be the solution, they said. Sesko set up the chance for the red card. His header was filthy. Yeah, again, that was a contribution, which was a positive. Because he helped that Chelsea goalkeeper get sent off, which, again, is a massive contribution towards the decision. But again, I would just say, just an approach of caution. Just approach of caution. 5 games without a goal. If it becomes 6, if it becomes 7, 8, 9, 10 games without a goal, we've got a goal-scoring problem. But we've got it. We've still got a goal-scoring problem because 2 of the goals came from the midfield positions. So that's all. That was the only thing I would say on the end of this match reaction. I think player of the match, I'm going to give it to De Ligt. I think player of the match has to be given to De Ligt today I thought he was absolutely flawless. His defending was incredibly defensively solid. I can remember Diego Forlan. I do remember Diego Forlan. I'm gonna give it to De Ligt. I'm gonna give player of the match to De Ligt because I think he was defensively very, very solid. He didn't make one defensive mistake. I think his runs to chase down the Chelsea attacking players to prevent them going through on goal, and his tackling was on point. He didn't make any rash decisions. He didn't put any stupid tackles in. And I think he puts his body on the line. He's an absolute beast. He is an absolute rock of the centre-back. And I feel privileged that we've got De Ligt in his team because he is going to show that he's one of our best centre-backs this club has seen in a very, very long time. And I think today he deserves player of the match, and that is who I'm giving it to. I'm giving player of the match to De Ligt. He absolutely deserves it. 110% deserves that today. He was the best player on that pitch. Didn't make a mistake. Didn't make any rash decisions. Didn't do anything stupid. He did his defensive role, and he did it remarkably well. Very, very impressed with De Ligt. So De Ligt gets player of the match. We've beaten Chelsea 2-1. This has been your full-time match reaction. Please remember to give me a follow on TikTok. Please smash that like button. And yeah, we've got the win. We've got the 3 points. A win is a win. Take the positives. We move forward. We've got Brentford next Saturday afternoon, which again is going to be a very, very tricky away game because Brentford aren't exactly having a good start to the new season under Keith Andrews' season. So I would expect quite a hostile atmosphere. And Mbeumo will be returning to Brentford for the first time as a Manchester United player. He's no longer at Brentford. He's with us now. So that's going to be interesting to see how Mbeumo gets on against his former team. But if we can beat Brentford, we go up to second next weekend. If we win early next weekend, we go up to P2. We go up to second in the Premier League table. Take the positives, take the encouragement. United are back to winning ways, finally. Finally, we have a Premier League win. Finally. It's been nice to actually get a result. It's been nice to actually get 3 points. And we haven't had our weekends ruined again by this football club. And I'm very, very appreciative of that. We deserve the win. We deserve the result. Yes, we got lucky because Casemiro got sent off. But based on the first half, based on Chelsea's ill discipline for their goalkeeper being sent to the dressing room for a stupid tackle on Mbeumo, which basically cost Chelsea the game. And I think it's going to be a very, very long trip for those Chelsea fans on their way home tonight. And let's all take a pleasing moment of minute silence for poor Paul Garnacho, who didn't even get a look in, didn't even get brought on, and is sat there in the third row, third player in on the bench, sat there with his Chelsea jacket on, thinking he's Mr. Billy Big Bollocks. Didn't even get a look in, did you, Garnacho? Didn't even get picked. Didn't even start. Didn't even come off the bench. That's where Garnacho's career is going to go. A bench warmer for Chelsea Football Club. That's going to be his next step in his career. A bench warmer for Chelsea. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1. Full-time match reaction. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the new followers. I'll see all you amazing people on the next one.